Hello and welcome. This is not a late night comic book review. This is a late night comic book discussion. We are going to talk about Webtoon because just as I was heading to bed, I saw this about Webtoon Originals Contracts and I started reading it and I was like, man, I got to track down the actual post on Reddit. I found it. We're going to pull that up in a second. And if you don't know, Webtoon is a platform where people can publish comics in webcomic form. It does this vertical kind of scroll here, and it's great for phones, not so great for on PCs, but it's okay on PCs. PCs are versatile. It's a South Korean company, apparently founded in 2004, and it's got like two different kinds of programs. One is the Webtoon Canvas, which is like anybody can go publish a comic on, and the other is Webtoon Originals, where they pay you to publish your comic. That's what this contract is dealing with. There are four pieces of the contract that this user, Parking Apricot 2896, finds objectionable. One, and this is crazy, Webtoon has the right to just buy your IP out from under you without further negotiation at whatever fixed fee they have. Wow. So if you have a product line, an IP that blows up, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like just imagine, like Eastman and Liard, I hope I pronounced it right, Liard? I'm probably butchering that, I apologize. Just imagine like they had to sell out for like 1K or something, as opposed to becoming the multimillionaires that they became. That would suck. They own your print publishing rights for 2K. For $2,000, they get all your print rights. That's insane. Like a random issue of a Western comic book. This is just the handiest one I could find. Probably, that one issue probably is worth more than $2,000. Now, there are definitely books out there where that's not the case, where like a single issue is like, yeah, that book made like $100 total or whatever, and it's not worth that much money. But 2K for printing rights, like the rights to something in print, in perpetuity? Oh, that's chicken feed, bro. Probably the least objectionable one here is the merchandising rights thing. I mean, it sucks you can't make your own merch, but presumably they should be making merch. And probably in a like decent contract, there would be some kind of enforcement clause where they have to produce a certain amount of merchandise. But I bet this contract doesn't have something like that in it. This fourth one, I'm not entirely sure what it means. So Webtoon as the agent for publishing and media deals. Well, they've already bought your publishing rights, so that probably doesn't matter so much. But media deals, like getting a cartoon or a vinyl record or whatever made, acting as the agent for that seems weird, but I don't know that it's unheard of in this industry. I believe for IDW, for example, that show Lock and Key, which is based on the Lock and Key comic book, I believe that went through IDW. Now, whether IDW acted as an agent or merely as like I almost said publishing house. I don't know what the right term is when it comes to multimedia, but somewhere people could come and be like, hey, we're interested in this. And then they connect people and then they collect like their middleman cut. Or maybe Lock and Key was wholly owned by IDW. I don't know the contractual details, and it's 1:30. I'm not going to go dig into this. This could be very suspicious, or it could be not so suspicious. But after seeing the first two bullet points here, I would be suspicious. Not only that, but they're not going to give you much money. That's kind of the worst. And if you scroll down through all the comments here, people are talking about, well, number one, how much hard work this person put into making their comic. Thumbs up to that. Thumbs up to hard work getting rewarded. But there's a lot of conjecture and stuff like that, and I don't know that a lot of this matters so much, but a lot of people are kind of like, this seems kind of crazy. And the reactions elsewhere, like here's on Twitter, here's an artist, be careful, I recommend not signing with them. Why do you think I never promote my series anymore? So here's somebody, the creator of Raven Saga, who apparently got completely ripped off by them. Casey here. Every time something new comes out about Webtoon, it's worse. I feel bad for the artists. Like there's a lot of commentary like that, and I scrolled through like everything that Twitter wanted to show me on this topic, and mostly it's retweets and commentary about that original set of tweets. This is also a good thing to keep in mind. I actually follow this person. They make cute looking art. This whole discourse only applies to Webtoon Originals. Yes, I think I called that out earlier. I didn't talk about Canvas, except to mention that it's one of the things Webtoon does. So a lot of people are kind of upset, and rightfully so. It really sounds like creators that would be signing today with Webtoons are getting a bum deal. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of Richard Garriott and NCSoft, which, if you missed that saga, that was pretty hilarious. So he goes into space. NCSoft is mad. They didn't market his game. His game flopped because they didn't market it. And NCSoft did what they do, which is they murder an MMO as quickly as possible if it's not named Lineage or Guild Wars. So his game Tabula Rasa failed. He went into space. And while he was in space, NCSoft publicly claimed, no, that's not what they did. They actually forged documents with his signature on it saying that he was not exercising his stock options. So he gets back to Earth, and they have fired him, and they have forged his signature on documents. That's what I understand, which is why Richard Garriott absolutely shellacked him in court, because truth was on his side, and their actions were indefensible. Like, when contracts are totally lopsided, and you got companies acting shady, let's go back over to the Reddit thing, back up to the top. You got companies acting shady. Courts tend to take, at least in the U.S., a relatively dim view of what's going on. I'm sure these contracts would probably stand up in court, and they probably stipulate that you have to sue them in their home country or something, where the courts are probably going to be more favorable to them, or the law is more favorable or something. Like that's typically what corporations do. It's like, you must sue us in the Southern District of California. Wow. As I was talking, my headset went beep beep at me. I probably caught in the middle of a sentence. I was saying something like, that's why contracts often have something like, you must sue us in the Southern District of California or in Delaware or something like that, because the laws are more favorable to corporations in those places, and they can get away with pushing stuff a little bit further. I bet this contract has a clause like that in it too. I've never really gotten into Webtoons. I've read a couple of Webtoon comics, and I thought they were pretty neat. But as corporations go, they seem to be pretty unethical. The whole comic book industry kind of seems that way. You start looking at what people get paid, you start looking at the contractual terms some of the publishers offer, and it's absolutely nuts. There's the whole Aftershock thing, just company after company trying to take advantage of people. Which reminds me, I don't think I've seen an update about like the Aftershock situation. I might have to go dig into that. So anyway, if you have creators, or no, if you are a creator and you're thinking, man, let me get on this Webtoon original stuff, you might want to reconsider. You might want to reconsider that plan, because this does not sound like the contract has your best interests at heart. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me here in the middle of the frickin' night. You all have a great one. I hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye. I think I just wrote bye with the mouse cursor. Bye bye. Take care. Ciao.